always do it this time. I go for mine.
What up, y'all? It's Jesse J, man. Back at y'all again. Before we keep it pushing, make sure y'all hit the bell at the bottom. Yo, today we're going to be talking about when I knew me selling crack, it wasn't for me no more. First of all, let me start off by telling you, I started selling crack at the age of 16. My mom relocated to Georgia, and I had to find a way. I was 16, it was very early. You know, I was young. You know, I didn't know, I had to get some money, man. You know how this shit go. So I picked up that. I started making my little money, doing the things that I needed to do. And I was doing it. I did it for years. I did it for some years because, for me, selling weed wasn't really my thing. I smoke weed. It wasn't my alley. It wasn't my lane. Whatever. So I hopped on that lane. From then, I was making my moves, doing me. Never did too much because I knew the repercussions behind it. So I played it smart. I made enough just to get by, do the things I needed to do, take care of whatever I needed to take care of. So, in that case, I'll never forget, I was hanging out. I was going to serve somebody in a building. And when I was serving them, one of an old friend of mine said, "Man, that shit couldn't have been me, man." I said, "Why?" She said, "Because I'd have tried to kill you." I said, "Nigga, you try to kill me. Nigga, you serving but not once did I ever think about my own situation. Not once did I ever think, that could be my mom, that could be my situation. Things could have been different. Not once did I ever think about that. And I think a lot of us don't think about that when we're out there. We not thinking about nobody else, family members and shit. Nigga, we try to get our money. We trying to do what we got to do, But, boom. They hit me with that. It was something to think about. And I tell you, I smoke your weed. I'm not going to say just then I was just not selling it no more. And then, one time, I sold something to a dyke. I was 16 years old. She never gave me my money back, too. She owed me $20. That's a whole nother situation. But it was uncomfortable because I was an aggressive woman. And I started to look like, even though I was selling crack, I still started to look at situations like, man, that could be me, And once you start having those thoughts, certain things is not for you because you could be all in. You know what I'm saying? But once you get to that point where you like, man, this shit ain't right. Well, whatever. I served a friend of mine, an old friend of mine, mom's. And she used to speak to me, right? All the time, "Hey, Jess, show me wild love." I was going to serve her mom's. And her son rocked with me. Her son would see me, show me wild love, embrace me, whatever the case may be. And I sat and I thought about my own situation. I was like, man, that could be easily anybody in my family. And a part of me felt real fake. Like I had this fake feeling. Like, my nigga, how you speaking to her all the time? How you speak to her every time you speak to you? That girl, she give you wild, show you wild love, you embrace you when you see you, and embrace you when she see you, and you serving her moms. I knew that when those voices started playing on me, things started changing. So I said, man, and then what really fucked me over, I wound up going to a program to get help. Not with drug abuse, just mental health. And in the mix of getting mental health, they have AAU programs. They got programs. I wound up in the same program with people I sold drugs to. So it was uncomfortable. So and I always thought that was God. That gotta be God. Working on you like that to be able to put you in uncomfortable situations too. Like you in a place where this person should be here. Like you serving people that's coming to this AAU, not there, but outside and she's trying to come get help and you trying to come get help, nobody's different from anybody. You know, and on top of that, a lot of people old heads I served to, like, they gave me game too. Don't never get it twisted. Don't think just because a person do certain drugs that they can't drop knowledge on you. Let's not forget that. Listen, weed is anything that you use, that you overuse, it's an addiction. Whether it's cigarettes, weed, food, man, crack, heroin, pills, you know, all of that. All it is it's an addiction. It's all an addiction. You know, it's some people. So I don't knock nobody for what they do. Basically, to make this clear, what people do is what they do. I don't knock nobody, because remember, that could be you. Okay, so let's make that clear. And you'll be surprised the type of knowledge you'll get from some of these people. On top of that, let's not forget they are human beings too. You get a lot of game from a lot of different people. I done got game from people on the street. I'm talking about I done got game through passing and holding cells. So don't ever get it twisted, okay? But yeah, that's when I knew. I was like, man, I started feeling fake. Like, how you talking to this girl? So, and then us being in a program together, I'm like, I'm watching this woman leave, no, just to go get a hit. She acting like she coming to the program, but she not. And I said to myself, I never serve that lady again. So after that, I started like drifting off from it. I started, you know, thinking about all types of things. Like, you know, when you start to have a heart for things, you gotta change your aim. You gotta shift your direction. You get what I'm saying? Some things you just can't, you know, still, especially when you got a heart for things, you know what I mean? But I was young, I was survival. I was on survival mode. I was just trying to make sure I had bread in my pocket, make sure I was good. I was rebellious. You feel me? I was worried about me making sure I was good and I had what I needed in my pocket, you know. So yeah, man, I had to shift it. I had to shift, you know, and I shifted and I left it alone. But that's what changed my whole concept of selling drugs to people, selling that specific drug to people. You know, I was just like, you know, this ain't right. I gotta find a different, just, you know, that ain't a part of you, man. You know, you feeling uncomfortable. That good side of you, everybody got a good and bad side of them. But that good side of you sometimes, it'd be like, come on, Jess, you know that ain't right. You know, the devil will play on you. The devil will be, you know, like I always say, I met a young boy in passing in a holding cell. And we were just having a conversation. And this had to be, it was years ago. It had to be like 5 years ago. And in 6 years ago. But in a conversation, he was young and he was dropping me game. He said to me, he said, let me let you know one thing. God talks low and the devil talks loud. And I'm like, what you mean? What you mean, youngin'? Like, you like basically God in your stomach, the devil in your ear. And it made so much sense. Because I was like, maybe he was an angel dropping that off to me. Because, you know, God sends people here to pay things forward through different people, whatever energy, whatever the case may be. And I was like, man, he was like, because, you know, God, he ain't going to beat you up to do the right thing. And I was like, man, that shit makes sense. He was like, but you know, the devil, he going to ride on your ear. He going to ride on you. And he going to do it. You know what I mean? So everybody got a good and they got a bad. And my good side was telling me, just find a new lane. And it hurt my feelings. But it was best for me to change it, and then to come, and then, you know, it was best for me to just change my lane. I cared too much. In that game, you can't care. You can't have a heart. You don't care about it being somebody's mother. You don't care about it being somebody's grandmother. You don't care about it. I cared. It wasn't for me. But yeah, man, make sure y'all tune in. What's it? Saturday. Tune in, man. I'm going to have more and be talking about a lot more. But